Good morning, I'm Samriddhi K.C. and these are the headlines of the hour. Fire at plywood factory of Danghorai Municipality 9 Khaira remains uncontrolled. Raw materials and machineries destroyed. Efforts underway to control the blaze. Large companies' revenue falls by 12% due to declining income and bad debts. Tax collection drops by 9 billion Nepali rupees, posing resource management challenge in upcoming budget. U.S. negotiators schedule talks with Ukrainian counterparts and separately with Russians for a partial ceasefire. Immediate partial ceasefire to be followed by comprehensive peace deal. And France books its place to the semi-finals of UEFA Nations League, defeating Croatia, Germany and Portugal into last 8. Welcome back. A fire blaze at a plywood factory situated in Khaira Gorai Municipality 9 of Dang is still out of control. The blaze at the Sangrila Ply Industry in Gorai sub-metropolitan city 9 Khaira started at 1 a.m. last night. Firefighters are battling to control the flames, which have already destroyed raw materials and machinery. Nearly 500 security personnel, including Nepal Police, the Armed Police Force and the Nepalese Army, are currently on the scene. Fire trucks from Gorai, Tulsipur and Lamahi municipalities, as well as one from Gadwa Rural Municipality, Shivaraz Municipality in Kapilvastu and Nepalganj sub-metropolitan city in Bake are being used to fight the fire. According to police, a total of 7 fire engines are involved in the operation. District Police Office Dang's Information Officer Deputy Superintendent Chakra Bahadur Saha has reported that efforts to extinguish the fire are ongoing, but the blaze remains uncontrolled. Due to the stagnating income of large companies and rising bad loans in financial institutions, the nation's revenue has been affected. Corporate tax payments have dropped by 12% compared to last year. This contradicts the government's claim of an improving economy.
The government has been claiming that the economy is improving. However, official data from government agencies does not support this claim. If the economy were truly improving, the revenue from large companies and the taxes collected by the state should have increased. However, the taxes paid by large companies have actually decreased compared to last year. In the previous fiscal year, up until the end of the Nepali month of Phagun, the government received 75 billion Nepali rupees in corporate income tax from large companies. This year, however, the amount dropped by 9 billion rupees, totaling only 66 billion Nepali rupees during the same period. Likewise, while the target for income tax collection was set at 184 billion Nepali rupees by the end of the Nepali month Phagun, only 145 billion Nepali rupees was collected. According to the Internal Revenue Department, the revenue from government institutions has also decreased by 840 million rupees.
CIT अब हाम्रो इन्कम ट्याक्स भित्र पनि एउटा CIT हुन्छ, कर्पोरेट इन्कम ट्याक्स, अर्को पर्सनल इन्कम ट्याक्स हुन्छ र अर्को चाहिँ इन्भेस्टमेन्ट इन्ट्रेस्ट इन्कम ट्याक्स हुन्छ। अब कर्पोरेट इन्कम ट्याक्समा चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो अलिकति नेगेटिभ ग्रोथ रेट देखिएको छ। त्यसको मेजरली दुईटा कारण छ। एउटा भनेको बैंकिङ सेक्टर, हामी सबैलाई थाहा छँदैछ, अलिकति बैंकिङ सेक्टर सुस्ताएको अवस्था छ, जसको इन्ट्रेस्ट रेट पनि राम्रो छैन, जसको कारणले चाहिँ बैंकिङको प्रॉफिट पनि घटिरहेको अवस्था छ। त्यसको डाइरेक्ट इम्प्याक्ट चाहिँ हाम्रो कर्पोरेट इन्कम ट्याक्समा पर्यो। अब अर्को पनि हाम्रो पब्लिक इन्टरप्राइजेसमा पनि अलिकति ग्रोथ रेट कम देखिरहेको छ।
On the other hand, bad loans in banks and financial institutions are on the rise. Not only are interest payments being delayed, but the profit margins have also decreased as institutions have to set aside funds to cover potential risks. This is impacting the government's revenue as well. Due to a reduction in interest rates, the interest tax has decreased by 16% compared to last year. In the previous year, 27 billion Nepali rupees in interest tax was collected by the end of the Nepali month of Phagun, but this year only 22 billion rupees has been collected in the same period. The Internal Revenue Department had set a target of collecting 480 billion Nepali rupees in revenue, but only 346 billion rupees was raised. With only 4 months left in the fiscal year, only 49% of the target has been achieved. Experts point out that the lack of improvement in internal revenue collection indicates that the economic issues persist.
संस्थागत आयकर पनि घटेरै गएको छ र यतातिर ब्याज करको त निक्षेपमा ब्याज दर अत्यन्त घटेको हुनाले ब्याज कर घटिहाल्यो। यसले के देखाउँछ भन्दा मान्छेको हातमा आम्दानी बढेको छैन, रोजगारी स्वरोजगारी जुन ढङ्गमा हुनुपर्ने भएको छैन, प्रत्यक्ष करको अंश कुल करमा घट्नु भनेको के हो भन्दा अर्थतन्त्र सङ्कुचनतर्फ गएको छ। सङ्कुचै नगए पनि विस्तार चाहिँ भएको छैन भन्ने कुरा स्पष्ट यसले देखाउँछ।
The government had set a target of collecting 34% more revenue this year compared to last year, but only a 12% increase has been observed. Internal revenue has only increased by 9%. With the current revenue performance, managing the budget for the upcoming year will be an even greater challenge for the government.
Weather forecasts in Nepal are mostly accurate due to improved technology and real-time data used by the Department of Hydrology and Meteorology. The department currently provides 3-day forecasts and aims to extend to 7 days, but many people still do not take their estimates seriously.
Last year, during the last week of September, heavy rainfall was recorded across the country, with 25 weather stations reporting record-breaking rainfall. The Department of Hydrology and Meteorology had already predicted heavy rainfall on 25th of September and issued a warning for necessary precautions. However, the lack of serious action from the government led to significant damage.
3 दिनबाट 7 दिनमा जाने भनेको हामीले मोडलको एक्युरेसी र परफर्मेन्स चाहिँ बढाउँदै लाने हो र त्यसमा हामीलाई अलि कन्फिडेन्स चाहिँ हाम्रो विगतको अनुभवले हामीलाई कन्फिडेन्स बढेको छ भनेकोले त्यही भएर हामीले 16 योजनाको अन्त्यसम्म 7 दिनको फोरकास्ट गर्छौं। त्यो मात्रै हैन, अब हामी पानी पर्छ मात्रै भनेर भन्दैनौं, पानी परेर कतिसम्म गर्न सक्छ र यसले के गर्छ भन्ने इम्प्याक्ट बेस्ड फोरकास्टिङ प्रभावमा आधारित पूर्वानुमानसम्म जाने तयारीको बाटोमा जल तथा मौसम विज्ञान हिँडिसकेको छ।
With the help of improved technology and the availability of real-time data from nearly 450 out of 800 weather stations, weather forecasts in Nepal have become more accurate. Currently, the department can provide forecasts for up to 3 days, and by the end of the 16th plan, forecasts for up to 7 days will be possible. Meteorological forecasts require monitoring of distant regions, such as the Indian and Pacific Oceans, as well as atmospheric conditions at altitudes of up to 30 kilometers. However, the challenge remains that the public and government often fail to take these forecasts seriously, leading to problems. Experts believe that reducing damage is possible if accurate forecasts are recognized and acted upon promptly. It is also crucial to establish systems to disseminate these warnings effectively to the public.
अब जल तथा मौसम विज्ञानले यो गर त्यो गर भन्न सकिदैन, त्यो अथोरिटी नभएको अवस्थामा। अब तर त्यो प्राधिकरणमा गइसकेपछि, गृह मन्त्रालयमा गइसकेपछि गृह मन्त्रालयको अथोरिटी ल यो गर है, यहाँ चाहिँ यसरी इभ्याकुएसन गर्ने, यसरी यो गर्ने उहाँहरुको अधिकार छ। त्यसकारण चाहिँ त्यो मेसेज गृह मन्त्रालय र जस्तै रेड क्रस जस्तो छ हैन, विभिन्न जिल्लाहरु विभिन्न लोकल गभर्नमेन्ट गइसकेपछि त्यो लोकल गभर्नमेन्टहरुले एक्टिभ भएर चाहिँ काम गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था छ।
Ruling party Nepali Congress has stated that Republican front and demonstration of strength are not necessary at this time. Speaking at the meeting of the party's executive committee held yesterday at the party office in Sanepa, party officials stated that the parliament and a majority of citizens are committed to the republic. Spokesperson Prakash Sharan Mahat announced that the meeting concluded that the people's aspirations and dissatisfaction can be addressed within the framework of constitution.
सार्वभौम सम्पन्न जनताद्वारा निर्वाचित संविधान सभाबाट यो जनताको संविधान बनेको छ र यो संविधान मार्फत नै जनताका आवश्यकता समस्याहरूलाई सम्बोधन गर्न सकिने विश्वास नेपाली कांग्रेसले लिएको छ। त्यस हुनाले यो संविधान प्रति दृढताका साथ यो संविधान कार्यान्वयनको पक्षमा नेपाली कांग्रेस पार्टी रहेको छ।
The party reaffirmed its full commitment to the federal democratic republican system. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli has stated that the government is making efforts to further enhance effectiveness of service provided to the citizens by the state. Presenting the annual report of the government's major activities for the fiscal year 2080-81 to President Ramchandra Paudel, Premier Oli asserted that people's welfare is his priority. Oli added that government policies and programs have ensured that students receive textbooks along with school enrollment on time. He also claimed that the government has made progress in providing fertilizer to farmers during planting season and ending long waiting times for services such as citizenship documents, passports, licenses and no objection letters for foreign study. Oli stated that the government has taken initiatives to protect the rights of foreign and domestic workers and to end the cycle of feudal exploitation such as the predatory lending system.
नागरिकता, राजधानी, लाइसेन्स, विदेश अध्ययनका लागि नो अब्जेक्सन लेटर लगायतका सेवाहरूमा घण्टौं लाइन लाग्ने अवस्थाको अन्त्य गरिएको छ। राज्यका सेवा प्राप्त गर्न निकाय पछि वैयक्तिक विवरण पेश गर्नुपर्ने अवस्थाको अन्त्य गर्न विभिन्न निकायमा रहेका सेवा प्रणालीहरूबीच अन्तराबद्धता गर्ने प्रक्रिया सुरु गरिएको छ। वैदेशिक रोजगार तथा स्वदेशमा रहेका श्रमिकहरूको अधिकार संरक्षण एवं मिटर ब्याज जस्तो सामन्ती शोषणको चक्र अन्त्य गर्न सरकारका तर्फबाट पहलकदमी भएको छ।
Prime Minister Oli reiterated that 10% of students have been enrolled in primary education and 25% of total women hold land ownership certificate. Welcome back. The court has extended the detention of Aurahi Rural Municipality Chair Shivaji Yadav and former Ward Chair Dilip Yadav for 5 more days on charges of caste-based discrimination against Dalit family in Siraha. According to Siraha Police Ramesh Pandit, the Siraha District Court has granted a 5-day deadline to the police to investigate the caste discrimination and untouchability charges. Recent reports indicate that Deepak Malik's house was demolished by bulldozers in the name of Mahayagya ceremony. Malik filed a complaint on Saturday against 3 individuals for caste-based discrimination and has demanded compensation along with legal action against the accused for discrimination, vandalism and displacement. The law provides for penalties ranging from 3 months through 3 years in prison along with fines of 50,000 to 200,000 Nepali rupees. The police are also searching for the accused Bajrangi Baba. Time for international update. Delegations from the United States and Ukraine have been holding talks in Saudi Arabia as part of peace negotiations brokered by the administration of US President Donald Trump. Defense Minister Rustem Umerov, representing Ukraine in Riyadh, said productive talks had concluded late Sunday. Umerov said the beginning of the talks that where 2 parties were discussing the protection of energy sites and critical infrastructure from attacks. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff on Sunday expressed optimism ahead of these high-stakes talks to end the Russia-Ukraine war, telling he believed Putin wanted peace. The Russian and U.S. delegations will meet separately in Riyadh today. In the meantime, at least 7 people have been killed in overnight Russian drone attacks in Ukraine as Zelensky urged his Western allies to put more pressure on Moscow to cease its attack on the country in advance of the peace talks. A massive police presence was seen outside Seoul's Constitutional Court today morning as the court struck down the impeachment motion against Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, reinstating his powers and injecting new uncertainty into South Korea's recent political upheaval. Han took over as acting leader from President Yoon Suk-yeol, who was himself impeached over his short-lived declaration of martial law last year. A number of police bosses and officers were deployed outside the court. Both ruling and opposition party lawmakers were also seen standing in front of the court to urge the immediate ruling on Yoon. Prime Minister Han lasted less than 2 weeks in the post and was impeached and suspended on December 27 after clashing with the opposition-led parliament by refusing to appoint 3 more justices to the Constitutional Court. A U.S. airstrike late yesterday on a building in the Asar neighborhood of Sana'a left at least 1 person dead and 13 others injured. Eyewitnesses claim the casualties were passers-by on the street and the building itself was unoccupied at the time of the strike. The building was reduced to a mangled heap of shattered concrete and twisted metal, its floors pancaked and walls crumbled. Blankets, chunks of doors and windows and other remnants of daily life were scattered across the jagged ruins. Emergency responders continued their search for survivors amidst the wreckage, while residents of the adjacent building attempted to salvage their belongings. The U.S. military has so far released few details about its offensive against Yemen, launched after Houthi threats to renew its attack on Red Sea shipping over the war in Gaza. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.